Hey guys, and welcome back to another Overwatch Curios video. I'm a little bit sick, so sorry about my voice, but today we're going to be looking at top 5 new hero concepts for Overwatch made by you guys, the community, and honestly, some of the best work that I could ever hope to see comes from you guys, the community. They really have a lot of creative ideas, and they have a lot of amazing concepts, and I just try to find them here and there, usually DeviantArt, put them together, and yeah, make a video. All these sources and links are down below, so make sure to support the original artists, and let's get straight into it. So for our first hero, we have Sparkman by Damon up in the top left, and Spark would be a long-range marksman in the defense category. He would use a sniper railgun, which automatically sounds amazing, but it's the characteristics of the railgun that makes Spark super unique. So he would have his Spark shot, and every time you'd hit an enemy or snipe an enemy from far, you'd actually reveal them, and you could see that one enemy through walls for 20 seconds, which sounds insane, but what's super cool is if you miss your next shot, the reveal will stop, so you have to keep landing those shots in order to get that data. And on top of that, you only have one bullet. It does a ton of damage, it has bullet drop, and it's not easy to hit, but you only have one bullet. On top of that, he has his E, which is Cold Dagger. You can melee 3 times before going on cooldown. Then he'd had Phaser, which allows him to go through walls, which sounds insane on its own. But then my favorite part would be his Q called Piercing Spark Blast, which allows you to pierce through walls and shields, which we need right now in this meta, let's be honest. But each time it goes through a shield or through a wall, the damage is reduced, and it doesn't have very high base damage. It honestly seems amazing, and this concept is one of my favorites in the entire video, just because straight up it would actually fit the game perfectly, and it's something that the meta could use at the moment, which is not, you know, we don't really see that for a lot of fan concepts, since fan concepts just have fun, go crazy. This one seems like something I would legitimately want. But anyways, on to our next hero, Mackenzie. This one is super interesting. So the simplicity of this concept is honestly what gives it life. So this would be a mech-based Javelin user, in which one of the abilities called Javelin would actually, you know, the Javelin is a long-range weapon, and you could actually pierce enemies and hold them in place. Then you could actually go retrieve the lance, and that would do damage. I guess meaning not retrieve it, but pulling it out. The lance gun would be a medium range gun, nothing fancy about it. The lance whip would be a melee attack that pushes back enemies, kind of like Brigitte. And then jousting, which I assume would be the ultimate, would be to charge forward and pierce all the enemies. You can actually pierce through all of them, and you get to push them back. So it's like an intense, aggressive Reinhardt charge. Overall, I think it's just super cool. There wasn't too much information other than a few hero concepts, design-wise, and the abilities. But this one, our next hero on the other hand, has a lot more information. So Damon is on a roll with his fan concepts, as he's also made Curios, which is a cyber ninja like Genji, but only uses his sword. So think of Genji with his ultimate, but consistently. Now that is my dream hero right there, no lie, right? Like, his E is Switch Stance, which allows him to either dual wield the swords or put them together into one strong sword. He's able to block, he's able to do a crescent cut, depending on which stance he's using. The blocks are labeled right there if you want more information, as you can see. The ability, which is space to power jump, and then space again, so recast it, which is spinning slash, so you can jump up in the air and do damage mid-air, which is something we haven't really seen in Overwatch. There's also power sprints, and then using it again, which would be speed rings, which I assume maybe after sprinting for 2 seconds he leaves speed rings that boost allies. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it would be a damaging ability. It's actually a boost ability. And then his Q is super cool, which is Shadow Copy, which instantly creates a shadow clone of himself, but if you kill an enemy, it creates another shadow clone. A maximum of 3 clones are allowed at once, and each clone has a lifespan of 10 seconds. Which is insane. I mean, man, this guy is my dream hero, but we can't waste too much time as there's still more to go through. Like this one, which is super cool. Her name is Rivet, and as you can see, she just looks like straight up badass. I couldn't find a super HD image, so even though here I'm zooming in, I know you guys can't read it because I can barely read it, but she uses a light pistol, we know that does have bullet drop, and her shift allows her to do a melee attack drill through walls, or use it to push enemies. As you can see by the illustration, her E is a screwdriver whirlwind. So again, it's like a move forward. It's an AoE attack that spins her in a circle. So she's really melee, which I find is amazing. Like Doomfist is a hero I found extremely unique. We could use some more melee. Her Q is Smoke Bomb. So it's just a straight up smoke bomb, but I think that fits her extremely well. You throw a smoke ball, smoke bomb, you go in, screw driving straight through and spinning in circles. I mean, that's a cool way to make a melee champion. As you can see, her looks and presentation is super cool. It's kind of like the Junkertown Queen. I'm not sure if actually based off of that, but her styling and the way that the approach was taken does look kind of like that, and I honestly just think it's amazing. It's one of my favorite ones. Not my particular favorite ones, but anything to do with melee heroes, as you can see as I praised the Cyber Ninja that we talked before it, gets me excited. I feel like we need more melee heroes in Overwatch, so when hero concepts come out, or I find hero concepts based off of this, man, just look at that drawing. It's amazing. It's something that gets me excited. But regardless, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And now that we have a little bit of a small gap, small break, I need to express this. Go down into the description, click on the DeviantArt links, look at them yourself in full HD. I can't really show you how amazing these look through YouTube. Just support the artists. A lot of my friends are artists, and I know it takes a lot of work. But anyways, moving from there, we have Chameleon. So this hero is by Mossy Gator, but anyways, if the name isn't on the picture, then it's definitely somewhere on screen, and this one's super unique. So her Q would be Smoke Screen, which reminds me of the Q we just talked about, but it creates a field of smoke that hides you and your allies from enemies' detection, which I assume would work with something like Sombra's against Sombra's passive and Widowmaker's ultimate. Her shift is Camouflage, makes you invisible for 10 seconds. This one resembles Sombra, maybe a little bit too much in that sense, but everything else is really unique, including her laser gun, which is a short-range automatic weapon. Well, again, it kind of resembles Sombra. I feel like it's a good twist on Sombra, as the space is called Sticky Fingers, which allows her to actually stick on walls, which is, I guess, why the name Chameleon came up, because you can actually camouflage and then stick on walls. There's a couple things I would change to this concept, but I really like the idea, and I feel so much more could have happened with Sombra, but because she was hacking based, I understand the route they took. But regardless, another Invis based hero is definitely something I'm personally not against. But I know that's 5, but I have a bonus hero called Karma. This one's cool because it's another support hero, kind of a spin-off to Moira, but let me break down why I think this support hero is like the Moira that I wanted, personally, in my own opinion. So the main attack is Draining Touch. Same idea, it's an electrical beam that locks onto a single enemy, so exactly like Moira, and gradually drains their health, but it actually then gives it back to nearby teammates, not yourself, so more of the actual support that Moira may lack. Then there's Life Siphon, emit a widespread shockwave that gradually drains the health of enemies that are caught into it, and then there is a blast that gives it back to teammates. That sounds insane. Like, that's again pushing the whole magic thing that I wanted from Moira, but just more strong into a support category. You know, like that's the whole basis. Then there's Magnetic Shield. Initiate a small magnetic barrier that gathers all incoming ammo and then can be detected or reflected elsewhere. So kind of like Genji's Deflect. Then there's Jamming Shock. Create a small ball of energy, like Moira, that will disable an opponent's basic firing ability, which is not like Moira, for a couple seconds within impact. Then there's the passive, which is Target the Healer. On death, release a wave of energy that will allow you to bestow a temporary damage boost to any nearby teammates. So even when you die, you still give your teammates a little bit of a boost. Man, this hero sounds like the support, the magic support that I want. Of course, maybe change it up a little. The purple is just too much Moira. The electric balls are too much Moira. But still, the spin-off is something that I appreciate. But let me know what you think down below. That's all for today. If you guys did enjoy it, hit that like button. Consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.